17. And we had Mr. Donahue's class join us today for our program to prepare for visiting Dorothy Nelson at her courthouse in Pasadena.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of background of that, the students that we've been working with for the last several months, there's 8 students that we have, and they had the task of preparing presentations and lessons and activities for their peers, which was another class of 30 students, because they want to make sure that they at least have some background and are prepared, because they'll be joining us on this field trip, which we're going on next Thursday. So they really took the ownership and that task, our students did. So right now we just wanted to give some feedback on how it went with our students teaching to their other students. And we thought it'd be nice to share with you too during our reflection.
And we have to add that today we have a wonderful addition to our group with Adib. Riyazati is here, just arriving from Haifa, and we are delighted to have him. And he's holding this selfie stick in his hand.
He'll never get tired.
Today, since last September, we've been working with this class of students, ranging from 9th graders to seniors, and today we really got to see them shine. Today they were given the task to prepare and present the fundamental concepts that we have been discussing, going over things like how to prepare yourself to solve a dispute with halt, and the different techniques that we can use to de-escalate. And we talked about body language and tone, and we introduced them to the star. All right, so they were given this task to talk about these fundamental concepts, and we really see the growth in them, to really feel comfortable with speaking in public. They really took ownership of their task as facilitators, and I really saw the energy and the commitment in them. They're very genuine, and to just see where they came from, being very self-isolating, very shy and
reserved.
Which is kind of, it's funny because we see that among some of these newer students. We're just meeting. It's like a kind of a natural thing, but just to see how much our group has changed from that state, and to really see them as a part of the same group, because they're just talking to their peers. Yeah. They're not old. They're not that older like us, with also so much life experience. But really, they were doing a great job. And yeah, we helped chime in on parts, but I really feel I think we could all agree that our students really owned it today.
Oh yeah.
We really didn't do much. We were just observers.
Yeah. Something interesting that stood out to me is that just like in the beginning, we were worried or hesitant, seeing that these students are not responding. They're not showing that they're engaged in the material. How is this gonna go? How is this group gonna work? How is this all gonna
This is really
happen?
important for us.
They're not taking it seriously, what we would see from their body language and the way they were responding. And now, our students, just a few months later, are having these same types of thoughts and feelings that we were, and concerns about their peers, and they're saying, why aren't they engaged? Why aren't they taking this seriously? This is really important. We want them to be a group like us, and we want them to participate. So really interesting how that process works, and how it's been such a quick shift in their own minds to put themselves in that role of seeing it as important and taking ownership. So really cool.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that in our small groups today, in our small group discussions, all all of our students really took the initiative to really lead, and they're really into it. Like Natalie was saying, they really want to make sure that they're teaching the best they can and that their new students are really understanding and are going to be able to apply and practice these skills. So it was just really amazing to find, like, to reach this point where they can lead and take that role and really own it and shine. It was just amazing.
I was watching the group where Elsie and Alan were leading the group, and I was impressed by the depth of their understanding of the function of the star, and how they were explaining that when you explain yourself to someone else that you have conflict, using the star, what was that happened, what did you think, how you felt, what was it your intention, and what kind of an action. By the time, she said, by the time you explain that to another person, that person has already a deeper understanding of you. And I saw Roxana also jump in there and say, yeah, in that way, there would not be the conflict anymore like that. It would be half of the conflict is resolved because there's an understanding. I was very, very impressed by the way they coached each other, and they coached their friends, and they were gentle, they were sweet, they were encouraging, they were patient. It was wonderful. It was all the special spiritual attributes that we have been talking about and thinking about and teaching was all there, which was very, very, very affirming. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I agree with everything that this team has said about their observations. I saw the same thing in my group. They were supporting each other. The students in my group who are normally in our program, they were very much taking ownership. And actually at the end of the session today, we were reflecting with Mr. Donahue, who is their teacher, and we were just noticing how when you learn the most is when you start teaching. And we started observing that in our own students, how they were really taking on that ownership because they were going to teach their peers these concepts that were important to them.
And what he said was very impressive and very eye-opening to tell us that he had some of these students before, and now he sees a tremendous transformation and change in them, which made us really realize what we are doing and the process we are using has been very effective. Yeah.
Steve, any comments, feedback? This was your first time joining us today.
Yeah, today is my first day, as she said, and I'm coming back from Haifa and seeing just the beauty and the grace that the people there have, and seeing this group of people doing that same kind of work is so uplifting, and it's the work that really makes a difference, and you could see that in all these kids' faces, in the joy that they were exuding to all their friends. And I remember at the end, one of them turned around and said to them, they're like, "Why are you guys being so quiet? Come and talk, tell us what you're feeling." And I think that just says it all, that they're here and they're feeling really how they feel. They're showing it and they're putting it out to the world. And I thought that was very beautiful.
And one more thing I wanted to mention, the prospect of that our group, our program is also involved in the whole school transformation of a positive relationship that the school has adopted. And we have a chance to present to the teachers, and we were talking about having our students be representing what we have learned and what the school could be, the whole school could be learning. So that's a reality that might come, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Mr. Donahue, the teacher who was here today, he shared how powerful he sees, coming from that teacher perspective, how powerful that would be for the teachers to see students coming in with this different ideas, with their heart, and really showing the teachers that what can come out of this, and how it's realistic to see that the whole school's culture can change in a positive way.
Fantastic. So, shall we say thank you and bye?
Yes.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.